much.
Cheers, Clinton.
Jazzy B there of Soul to Soul, of course. Let's get another angle on this. Chris Williams is a journalist for magazines, including Pop Matters and Soul Culture. Chris, what was the reaction, or your reaction, when you heard the news that Whitney Houston had died?
I was actually on my way home, driving home last night, and I came across the information online, and the news just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was just in shock. I almost teared up. I mean, it's such a massive loss for the music community, and I hope tonight the Grammys will honor her legacy appropriately.
Indeed, because she died a day before the Grammys. She died on the night that she was to be on stage at the party at the Grammy party, pre-Grammy party of her mentor Clive Davis. The whole of the music industry, or who's who of the music industry, are in LA, where she died at the moment. What's been the feeling amongst people there? How is America, the entertainment industry, remembering Whitney Houston?
They're remembering her for the light that she was. Her voice, I wrote in the piece today with Soul Culture, should be on the Mount Rushmore of great voices we've ever heard. She was in a league of her own, and the music community, the ones specifically in L.A., are really grieving. You know, Kelly Rowland last night couldn't do any interviews because she was, sobbing uncontrollably. Jennifer Hudson too. It just came as a shock. I mean, Don Cornelius just passed 10 days ago, and I don't think people were even remotely prepared for the news that hit us yesterday. She is one of the most incredible talents that we're ever going to see or hear on planet Earth.
Are people in America asking that uncomfortable question that we're asking tonight, that you just heard me asking Jazzy B of Soul to Soul there? Where did it all go wrong?
Well, it's been documented in an interview that she had with Oprah a few years ago, that she said that she started using drugs in 1996, almost at an everyday occurrence. And she had been, kind of on the upswing here the last few years, getting help and whatnot, and, getting back on the right path. We were all praying for her, hoping for her, just wishing her the best of luck. We just wanted to see, the best Whitney that we could see. During her prime, there was no one even in close in comparison to her talent. No one. And, lately, she had just released her album in 2009, and she was, on the upswing. Everyone, thought that, Whitney is on her way back. She just recently, I overheard that you guys were talking about her X Factor ambitions, and that was going to be a great opportunity for her to really showcase all of the new material she had been working on top of producing and co-starring in the remake of the movie Sparkle. That was happening as of September of last year.
So it took a moment or two for America to fall in love with Whitney, though. Do I not remember that when she first came out with her first album, and maybe even her first two albums, she was still regarded by a lot of African-American purists, if you like, the self-appointed policemen and women of black political correctness stateside, as something of a bubblegum pop diva.
Yeah, there was a famous incident during the Soul Train Awards in 1989 where a lot of the crowd jeered her name when it was announced as winning an award that night, and she wasn't present for the award ceremony. So during that time, she was looked at, kind of as
stuck up.
I would say almost, stuck up. Yeah. Some people.
Stush. Sorry, go on.
I guess they felt like she abandoned her urban roots, so to speak. She.
We seem to be having a bit of... Sorry, Chris, we lost you for a moment there. I do apologise.
Oh, no, that's fine.
You were saying that she was perceived as having abandoned her urban roots.
Yeah, that by some black purists, that was the case, unfortunately. But during that time, when these people were saying that she was selling out and whatnot, you have to remember she came from the church, so her...
It seems like we've lost Chris Williams after all, but fascinating what he had to say there. Chris Williams, speaking to him in the United States, trying to get a US perspective on the death of Whitney Houston there. He's a journalist for magazines including Pop Matters and Soul Culture. What about you? What are your thoughts tonight now? You've heard Jazzy B of Soul to Soul, you've heard Chris Williams there talk about, I suppose, some of the questions that are emerging. And certainly one of them, the obvious one, is where did it all go wrong? That's my question to you tonight. If you're a fan of Whitney Houston's or otherwise, perhaps it went wrong at the point of the release of a particular record. I'm not sure. I'm going to play you one of my favourites in a second. Perhaps it went wrong at a particular moment in time for the music industry. Perhaps it just went wrong because you can't be Lily White in the music industry, can you? 02722422000. That's the way that she was marketed initially, as a saint, virtually. Your thoughts on Whitney Houston there? What was her finest moment on record? What's the one song? We've already played I Will Always Love You. Give me another one. What's the one other song that for you always, you just can't get it out of your head, if you like? 02722422000. Let's get the latest BBC London travel. But first, news with Lisa Aziz.